What is up, YouTube world? I was gonna make a video earlier. Got to watching a documentary on Netflix. No, not the Tiger King. I've already watched that, of course. If you are putting yourself through the pain of life of being a friend of me on Facebook, that watched that earlier in the week. So I got several packages, but I got 4 of these friends. So we're going to open those first. That's some others. See if I can find there's my trusty box cutter. Gonna put mantle front and center. Gotta make sure if the show is going on and everybody, fuck you, I'm going. I don't care. I'm the big man on campus. I don't care if there's 5 people there. Well, it seems like if people are struggling with money, you're the one that's directly responsible for the money that they are struggling with, and you're telling people whatever it takes. I think I'd be worrying about the people I advise financially than making bold and ridiculous statements to something about baseball cards, which previous videos have been mentioned. That's not life. Baseball cards are not life. But again, when we contradict ourselves in every fucking video, that person's persona and character is made crystal clear. Those who choose not to see that person's persona and character are being the sheep's being led to slaughter. Fools. Utter fools. So we got PWE Madness to start off. 4 of them. So I'm very apprehensive in trying to open these friends. I don't know how. This one's from, ooh, Minnesota, CR Minnesota, so I'm going to guess Coon Rapids. Love that. Got a video still. Trying to work the schematics out. There you go, Steve. Steve and I had a long talk the other night. That's what I'm going to say with Steve. We can talk, and him, Michael, and Joey. Birdcat 8, this film not yet rated, and the Broncos 79 are 3 of the guys that I've always been closest to on here. And when we talk on the phone, because we are actually friends, I've only met one of the 3, but in life, real life, I've talked with Michael hours. I mean, multiple days for hours, and you just, for us, we don't get bored. Steve and I don't get bored. Joey and I don't get bored. Bob Lewis, he said on his first phone conversation with people, he didn't like to have over an hour. Ours went about an hour and 35, 40 minutes. And it wasn't boring, at least to me. And we could have kept talking, but again, it's Steve and I, we talked a long time. But he was mentioning how he loves hockey inserts. So if you've got any, guys, show them. Dedicate specific videos to him. Here's like that Mike Richter. Again, these are 1 per box, and you look, I even saw the set up on eBay and I was tempted. It was $15 fucking. Now granted, Richter is probably the second biggest name. Him and Potvin are in there, and then Patrick Waugh. Because it's 94, 95, so you're not seeing a Brodeur and a Hasek, but still, that's insanity. Just a few bucks for this card. It's just, I don't know. These things used to be big money. And that's sort of the world I live in, price-wise. But I'd rather live in that world than I'm paying for a PSA 9 Soto Topps paper, which there's 8 trillion of them out there. I don't want to pay 50. I don't want to pay 40 bucks for that. I'll pay 8 to 10 for the base, ungraded paper. If it's more than that, I'll grade the shit myself and get an 8 or 9. I don't care. This bubble will pop. This bubble has already popped multiple times. But I think in the years to come, that's going to be the bubble that you're going to see start blowing up. Just because they're so highly in demand on the NBA side. The baseball side obviously has a monstrous following as well. Rightfully so. But you really don't see anything with the football. And you certainly don't see much with hockey. Now, with hockey, there's mirror golds from 96, 97 of established veterans that are great players that are absolutely, they're nothing. I mean, you're literally paying the price of a hanger pack for them. And that's what I'm doing. I wish this guy would have afforded a penny fucking sleeve. That would have been cool. But if you can get that of people, again, I paid 55-ish for the Abreu 96 Select Certified Mirror Gold. Stated print run of 30. There's one I'm going to buy after this video. So I'll say it now. Daniel Elfredson, who was a very good player for a very long time for the Ottawa Senators. $9. This isn't a guy who had one good year. This isn't like a Michael Renberg who had a couple good years then sort of tailed off. This was a guy that had a career that's about 15, 16 years. $9 fucking dollars. And I think the stated print run on those is less. I'm not going to, because I don't want to disrupt my friends here. Is less than the 30. I think it's 26. So, it just, I know hockey's not as popular. I know that. I get it. I know Steve wants to see these inserts, and he has been begging me ever since our conversation. He's just been like, man, I cannot wait for the next video. I cannot wait for these hockey inserts to be shown. I just want to bathe in the knowledge that you're spitting. So, Steve, he continues on. 96-97 Donruss Dominators, which each card had 3 people, so you had a 30 players in a 10-card set. This one has Jim Carrey, not the actor. The Beezer, John Van Beesbrook, who was one of my favorite players back in the day for Florida. I had the starter jacket in Nebraska, which, Steve, I don't think I mentioned that. And then I had a Florida Panthers, I don't know if it was like the Apex jacket. I had that too, so I was like living large. But there's that one. Just nice shine on there. Nothing over dramatic. And then Brodeur. I don't know if I mentioned him in the middle, but those are serial numbered out of 5,000. Minimal stats, which again, in a triple player card, you're not going to have a litany of stats, but at least you got shutouts, GAA, and then the average, or the actual goals against, and the actual GAA. So, nice to get that for a minimal nominal fee. Here comes another PWE Nightmare. Ooh, Shakopee, Minnesota. Straight from the the front door of our friends down at Valley Fair. God damn it. Wish I had a scissors. That would have been... I had them the other day and I cannot locate them. I think that's what he sent in his pad, or the Valley Fair info. Like a pamphlet. Oh, Sea Life at Mall of America. Been there, it's nice. I like seeing that stuff, obviously, with our friends right over yonder. 2 cards in this delight. I don't think this is the original. If it is the original, I think he just sent an extra card with, which is cool. It's always nice to get an extra card, especially the player you buy. So it's an, a Dirk Graham. Can't go wrong with the old North Stars. O-Peachy. But Teemu Selanne, 93-4, I think, leave. 5-6, off by a couple. You never can go wrong with a bonus. And this is out of Pacific 98-99. I think these were, if not 2 per case, the 1 per case. And it's got the old Schinders stamp on there. But timelines, nothing great. It's not a fancy card. You got like the rookie year. You got when he's flying high with the Jets, and then with the Ducks at the time. So I mean, it's books for nothing, but. Again, a tough pull. That's the name of the game. And one last PWE. from Pennsylvania. That's going to be the slogan. 2020. Especially if only one person shows up at the National, because, I mean, it's cards, and those aren't life. But again, we must contradict ourselves at every turn to put ourselves over to the masses as we monetize our stuff. There's nothing anybody'd ever want to pay money for to watch, but they do. Here you go, Steve. Here's one that you'll like. It's the one the same as the Brodeur I think I got the other day with the bakery sticker on it. The die-cut metallic finish one with Wah out of 96, 97, I believe, Elite, or 97, 8, and this friend is numbered 2500. Sort of wish like the face was like an acetate in there. That'd be pretty much cover every ground, or all the ground you could. Maybe the Painted Warrior holographic foil, but still. Beautiful card nonetheless. Now we get on to the stuff that people actually may have taken a little more time to package. Not the greatest on this one, just sort of with paper thrown in there. And this card is not a major card by any stretch, but I remember, along with the Lindros stuff in 92, 93, I think, Pinnacle, trying to run across these, and you didn't see them at all, ever, from anywhere. But happy to get one in the collection for, I think, like 10 bucks. But the old Team Pinnacle, which they called Pinnacle B, Mr. Wah. Take it out of the old plastic here. Always look at this stuff too, because you never know how much people are actually looking at these. Again, very generic, but again, inserts then were that, like the Dream Team from 91, 92 score baseball, even football. Those are subset cards, mind you. But again, is the black and white, the sort of studio photos, those everything at that time. Madonna, Vogue was the big video out, so, and that was that black and white, just real plain, so there it is. I got, I think 3 from one dude who put 3 packages. I don't know if I bought them separately, and him not using a brain and just saying, hey, I'll just refund you some shipping. Shipped everything like that. Staples. Ooh, Beckett pages. So here's a Wah Preeminent Players, which I think is another like 1 in 180. Maybe 1 in 360. And again, it's nothing fancy. It's out of 98, 99 Dynagon Ice. There's nothing exciting about that card by any stretch of the imagination. A little foil on the bottom. That one is not exciting, I'll give you that, Steve. This is from actually probably an old Beckett. I don't know. And you got bigger numbers than the one in that one I've got. Hope everybody's doing all right out there. Battling through all this stuff. First day back to work for me today. That was great. The old back said, you're dumb. Just barking. I took some leave earlier. Here's a McDonald's 97, 98, I believe. Game film. And there's an actual, just a regular SP game film as well. And the third one from this character is... They got more coming, but again, most of that stuff, I believe, is up in Canada. So that'll probably take longer than I really want, but at the same time, with everything that's going on, it's to be expected. If you expect everything to come in a normal, timely fashion, it just, right now, isn't. This one's a little nicer, a little foily on this, or hollow, the foil board, hollow foil numbering on the back. 97, 98, Donruss, Between the Pipes, Wah. There's foil board there. Wish this was foil here, like a hollow foil, that'd be nice. They did sneak a little on the serial numbering. So, all three from the same seller. Wish I would have sent them all together. Oh, here's another one. Here's another. Alfredson. You'll see its cousin in the background and on the right. It's Alfredson High Voltage. Or again, a few bucks for an insert numbered to 1500 back in the day. That's a big card. I'd like to get an older back just to... Not that anybody cares, not that anybody wants to care or listen, but you're gonna, sort of the realization of, like, man, this stuff used to book a ton. You're looking now and you get like a Panini Prism Camo Parallel, or whatever the fuck the oranges are numbered to the Bowman Chrome. That stuff's 25. You get that and it's like, if it isn't a big rookie, you're just like, who cares? It's a nice one here too. There are two versions of this. The away is numbered to 5,000. The homes are only numbered to 1,000, and they're tough to find. But the stuff I'm saying, stuff like that back in the day, this Alfredson, that's going to book for 20 bucks as a common. Even a common back then, if that was a common. Sakic, probably like 50. You get something like that, then you're on cloud 9. You pull something like 50, well, I'm going to go with the 25 route. You pull something to 25 now, unless it's the prospect of the day. Let's say you pull an Ian Kinsler. You pull out like a 2012 Bowman Chrome Orange Refractor. You may sell that for $1 plus shipping. I'd pay $1 for it, but I'm gonna pay more for the stuff that's $1,500 to $2,000 to $5,000, and it's got. Show you here. And the ones to 1,000 are like the white background, and they're rare to come by, but they're not impossible. But you're gonna pay. It's got like this sort of matte finish, you can tell on there. I don't want to cover up mantle because I had to go all the way to my mailbox and get it. It's a long trek for me. But there again, there's that. And then on the back you've got the... And this, when it first came out, Classic had this, the serial numbering out of something. Collector's had serial number. But it wasn't that out of a print run. It was just like a number. And they told you how many they made. Classic came out with the first that was actually crash numbered. That's what it was called. Crash numbering on a card. And it was either in hockey or for sport. But give you a little history lesson. There doesn't seem to be history. It seems to be revisionist. It seems that people are listening to the dumbest people on here. And that means to stop. If you want to be intelligent, I'm not saying I'm a brainiac, but listen to somebody that knows something. Last card's a goodie. I didn't even know it was going to be in this order, so I'm happy. Was able to get this super cheap. Again, I'm guessing back in 95, 96, this card was probably between 50 and 100. I got it for, I think, like 10 shipped. So 95, 96, Donruss Dominators. It's 3 players. The little holographic crackage, I guess. Prismatic-y crackage. Gold foil in the names. Serial numbered. Dominators. Peter Forsberg. Eric Lindros. Mario Lemieux. The numbering on the back to 5,000. And again, 8 cards, so you got 24 players per set, so at least that's the nice part. So again, to see stuff like that, that's just dirt cheap. And I mean, I'd do this for any player. For Marino, there's a Marino out of this stuff that I hadn't seen, didn't have, which, not to tote myself, but I've seen a lot of the stuff, because that was the heyday. Football was the heyday. Just because it's always been the popular one. Baseball, I was soured on the strike in 94. I was a huge Matt Williams and Expos fan in 94 because I wanted to see Matt Williams either come close to breaking Maris's record, or at least because when he went out, or when the season was over, he was at what, 40, 42, and there was basically 2 months left, just under 2 months. It's like if he wasn't going to hit 61, it was going to be a fun September watching him try. And the Expos, who had been mired in mediocrity, had all these prospects finally coming up at the same time. Kerplot. So I sort of got off baseball. I mean, I picked stuff up, but it was not even near what I had. I mean, at 92, 93, and 94, up until the strike, I was baseball, and I did some football. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99 were football pretty much, not exclusively, but baseball, even with the 98, I bought a bunch starting, I think, 97, the tops, but 98, even with the the home run thing, everybody was trying to get baseball because everybody wanted McGuire and Sosa, because Don West said it was the coolest thing to do. So there it is, YouTube. What have I taken up? I've taken up 22, 23 minutes of your time again. Hope you learned something. It's nice when people learn. It's nice when people actually hear the message, no matter who's delivering the message. If you just go by somebody's verbal capacity to deliver a message and their ability not to swear or not to cause a ruckus, you're going to deprive yourself of intelligence and knowledge, and in this community, a lot of the times it shows, especially if you're down in that metroplex and you think you've been put on a pedestal and you're standing behind your pulpit and you are delivering a message to people who just can't see the forest through the trees. That's alright. Because the rest of us that see the forest are going to constantly deliver the message to get the people away. Break you away from the cult. We don't need another Waco. I love David Koresh. I watched that as a kid, but we don't need more people like that. We've already got enough cultist behaviors and imbecilic individuals littering this nation. We need to start thinning that herd out and making sure those people aren't in places where their messages can constantly be delivered to the masses, however contrived it may be. So, hockey inserts, I think hockey only. Hockey only. So, Steve, I know you're going to be literally sitting on the edge of your seat the whole time. I know it. There's still more to come. There's still more. I know I got more WA stuff coming in, but again, like I said, it's from Canada, and that the one I got from Canada was from Peterborough. So I think that's close to Detroit, so I think that had a pretty easy journey, just either down whatever highway to Detroit or wherever over that way, maybe Flint. they can't get their water clean, they can do some mail. So, 25 minutes of boredom. Hope you enjoy, hope you learn, hope you're safe, hope you're doing well in whatever capacity your work is. Flatten the curve. Take her easy, YouTube. And if she's easy, take her twice.